Hey guys, it's Airplane Jane here with Jake from Trendspider, and we wanted to talk to you a little bit more about their software, amazing software to help you with your charting and trend analysis, as well as candlesticks and a whole lot more. But if you guys want to try it out, you can test it out for 7 days free. The information is down below in the description. So let me go ahead and hand it over to Jake and educate us a bit more about the software, Jake.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me, Jane, and we are happy to be able to be on here and show everybody kind of what the system is about. At the end of the day, we are really an automated charting platform to help you complement your technical analysis that you do by hand. So we're not here to say these are our trend lines, these are our indicators. You really kind of have the ability to customize any part of the system that you want to automate. So to start off with, you'll see that we're really just on a blank chart right here. And so when we start adding some of the core features, we'll start with trends. So when I turn on trends, the system is actually catching all of these different trend lines currently on the chart based on these current preferences. So you can see that as we change the different variables here, the charting trend lines are going to change. So when we go, let's say, from enhanced to original, you'll see that the base points are actually changing here, and the trend lines are changing up a little as well. And so you'll see the system is really not just having a set amount of trend lines or set rules. It's following whatever rules are in this trend analysis menu here. And so you can really go in and change your own formulas if you'd like, but we do have a bunch of formulas that we've already pre-created, and they're based on just these variables below that you can look and read about in this dictionary. So what you can do is you can really turn off different lines if you'd like. Let's say that you don't like the red lines in the analysis. You can always delete these to make the chart kind of more filtered. But these lines and these colors are just based on these formulas in this section here.
Can you change the colors too?
You can. So let me go here. You'll actually be able to change them easier, but right now you can't change them here.
Got it.
Just click
Okay.
that. And so these are just kind of the default ones. And as you change the analysis type, you'll see if we go to experimental, we're actually going to have different formulas here. And so those different formulas are different colors. And so you can really see how the system is capturing these different trend lines and capturing different setups based on whatever setting set you're on.
Very cool. And this is a weekly chart, right? Is there a way to change the time frames?
Yes, so we can easily go up here. If you're more of a day trader, we can go to the 30-minute, and the system's going to catch, the most relevant lines from not taken into account by the system yet, because the system has only captured and analyzed the data to the left. So when we go here and refresh and lock, you'll be able to see that the trend lines have changed because we have new data to go off of. And so we're capturing things that are not on the chart. We can go to this Show Trends button, and you can go to More Lines, and then the system is going to pick up more lines that are kind of being unfiltered in the system. So let's say, we really want to capture, this line right here. Double click on it, go back to most relevant, and all of a sudden you have this line here. Let's say that you really don't want to use any of these red lines. You can right click and remove all related trend lines and clean up the chart that way as well.
Now, what if you see something, a trend yourself? Can you draw one on there yourself?
You can. And so, for example, if you wanted to maybe just get rid of these lines for now, you can just click on trend lines, they will delete, and then you can go and start drawing your own lines as well pretty easily. So one thing that I like to do is draw my own trend lines, but then I like to turn on the trends feature just to kind of show me, what other trend lines are out there that I may be missing. And so it's really helpful where it's not here to replace your analysis. It's here to spark ideas. It's here to really make you think outside the box, and these mathematical formulas are just keeping things consistent across any chart you're looking at. And if you do want to use your own kind of drawing, you can use that in the drawing tool.
It would be a good way for newbie traders as well to sort of check and see if their visual trend lines that they're drawing are ones that are being picked up by the algos as well.
Exactly, and so the cool thing too is it's completely automated, where you're keeping the rules the same across any chart, and so it kind of removes the bias in your trading as well. Sometimes it's easy to draw a chart based on how biased you are to a certain stock if you're really short or you're really long. So this kind of helps remove the emotion from technical analysis, if you will.
Very cool. And what about indicators? I know a lot of people do use indicators on their charts more so than just trend lines. Do you guys have that available?
Yes, so we have a pretty big indicator library, and so any indicators that you are using are going to show up in this tab right here, and you can turn them on and off by clicking. So for example, when I turn off volume, it goes away. When I click this button and toggle it on, you'll see it here. To add more indicators, you click on these 3 vertical dots, and then you can go through the library here and pick whichever indicators you'd like.
And it looks like you can customize them too. Say you want a different, different parameters for the MACD or something like that, or RSI, different levels as well.
Yeah, the input is essentially just length. So whenever you want to change the length of your indicator, let's say we want to do the Vortex 5 to look at kind of a more sensitive side of the vortex, we can see kind of how this differs from the 25. So everyone has their own strategy in using inputs, and so you can easily change those here. You can change the color, you can change the stroke, meaning if you want to make the lines thicker or thinner, you can do that as well.
Now, I haven't seen it yet, but can you put more than one time frame on a chart?
Yes. So for example, if we want to, let's go to the daily. We're on the daily chart, and we want to see how the, let's say, the EMA 50 from the weekly candle is interacting with the price action on the weekly, the daily. We can go and click MTFA, which stands for Multi-Timeframe Analysis, and when we click this, we'll click W. The weekly EMA 50 is then overlaid on the daily chart. So we can see how kind of the shorter term price action is interacting with the longer term indicators. You can also do this with trend lines as well. So when we click W on trend lines, different trend lines are going to pop up from the weekly. This kind of gets crazy. You can easily just remove all related trend lines to kind of make this less noisy. And so you can really see all these different trend lines from different time frames as well.
Very cool. Now, is there a way to potentially set up an alert? Like, okay, well, I want to see when the candlestick goes ahead and it's going to be crossing up the 50 SMA on the daily, but it's a weekly SMA.
So there's a couple ways you can do that. So we could create an alert here actually on the chart just by right-clicking and then choosing the parameters here. So let's say that we want to look for a price breakthrough and a price touch. And what we can do here is we can increase the sensitivity or decrease the sensitivity. And you can see here when the sensitivity is very low, meaning that there's a lot of this shaded purple area, you can see that the price action really respected this cloud very nicely. So you can actually make this whole area your alert zone. And so let's say that you want to be alerted right when the 10-minute candle gets anywhere within this area. You'd go to your time frame as 10 minutes. Maybe you want it to expire in 30 days. That's enough time that you want to see that possible move happen. And you can have it triggered as many times as you like, up to 10 times. So I like to do just triggered once, and we'll go ahead and create the alert. Now, if you want to make this a little more robust and you want to add some price action and all that, you can go to create alert, and instead of indicator or trend line, you can go to the multi-factor alert, and you can really start to get very kind of, in depth into your alerts and how you create them. So let's say possible breakout. We can make a description. We can do the same thing, expires in 30 days or triggers once. And then we can, let's say, have the daily price action, so we'll do the daily candle close, is greater than the indicator on the daily, that is the weekly, but we can do it on the daily as well. And so we can do this, the daily candle close is greater than the weekly EMA 50 as well. So you can create these different rules for how price action is reacting to the longer term indicators on the chart. Now let's say that you also want to use lower indicators as well. You can add a parameter here. You can create a condition. Let's say we want the daily Williams percent range is greater than the constant value of, let's say, -30, and that would indicate a possible breakout on the percent range. And so you can create all of these different parameters, and then as these parameters become true, the system is going to kind of pick up on those and will let you know when all of them become true. You can get an alert through your phone or email.
Great. And also, I imagine an audible too, right, in your computer if you're sitting in front of it, right?
Correct. It will be a really loud noise, and you will definitely know that it's the Trendspider alert going off.
Now, I know some people don't like a white background. Can you guys customize that at all?
Yes. If you go here, you can go to color theme. Second from the top, you can go to dark, or you can do the good old days, which really looks kind of like Bloomberg-y, which is very blue. And so some people like this, some people hate it, but it's very in your face regardless. So there's 3 different backgrounds you can choose from.
Got it. Yeah, I think I like that white one. It's easier for me to see visually.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I know some people also look for candlestick patterns. Is that something that you guys have implemented as well?
Yes. So we have automated the ability to, go back and look for different candlestick formations that have occurred. So if you go here to patterns and you want to look for any different pattern that we have, we do not have every single one, but we have quite a few. You can choose from whichever ones you'd like, or you can just search for one. Let's say you want to look for a hammer. You can pull it up here, turn it off or on, we'll turn it on. And then once you apply, all of these different candlesticks will start pulling up. So here you can see we've got this Harami here, and so the system caught that right before a nice move up to the trend line here. And so it's really just to help you kind of not have to go through and do the tedious task of searching for each individual trend line, or, well, trend lines as well, but patterns. So, looking at the candlestick and saying, oh, is this mathematically a hammer or mathematically a Harami? The system already has that coded in, and so it's catching exactly what's coded in as Bulkowski's definitions. So these candlestick formations are defined by Bulkowski from his website, but we are looking to actually be able to create your own rules where, maybe you get rid of some of the false signals. Maybe you only want to see a hammer after 5 days and 5% more or drop in price. And so we really want to make this a little more robust, where it can give you some more customizability, if that's even a word, and on the platform.
Very cool. Now, do you guys have a way to scan and create a watch list from that? Or is that something that is in the works?
That is in the works. So we do have the ability to create a watch list. And so if you want to watch a certain set of stocks, you can go in and just create a new watch list. And just always make sure there's a comma in between each symbol. If you want to do Forex, make sure you have the caret up there. Euro, USD. And so you kind of can go ahead and create a watch list and then follow all the stocks you're watching pretty easily. Now, what we will have the ability to do is go in and have, let's say, a full watch list. You create your alerts, and then you can create the alert for the whole watch list. And so,
okay,
let's say we also have a library here, right? So if you want to see the SMA Golden Cross on the 60-minute on all of the stocks you're watching, you'll be able to go in and do that.
Very cool. And that's already accessible now, that
yes,
the history?
Yes, it says beta, but it is available. We just don't have the ability to add it to a whole watch list. You have to go in and do it with each stock currently.
Very cool. Now, not everybody also uses candlesticks. Do you guys have bars available?
Yes, so at the top left we have bars available, we have actual candles, and then we have hollow candles as well. So you can choose from any of these three, and over time we will be adding the line charts, the Renko charts, those types of things as well.
Cool. And as far as the one chart right now, like you've got Tesla up with a daily and weekly, but say I want to look at a 5-minute as well over a daily. Is there a way to do more than one chart?
Yes, you can. So when we go here, we go to 2 charts. You can choose your layout. Let's say we want to see how the daily and the weekly are interacting, but then we also want to look at the 5-minute versus, what was that? The
daily.
The daily. We can also do that as well. So you can overlay a bunch of different things here. You have to remember that each one of these boxes is the time frame, so you have to make sure to always click this. So when we click trend lines here, that's when the daily trend line is going to show up on the 5-minute chart.
Very cool. All right, is there anything that you think that we might not have touched upon that you would want everybody to know about? Oh, the Fibonacci's.
Yes, we have the Fib levels, and so when I pull up one chart here, we do have the ability to automatically kind of catch these Fibonacci retracement levels. When we click on Auto Fib and go and turn it on, you'll be able to kind of capture the most recent move. Now, sometimes these Fibonacci levels are different based on which trend preferences you're on. So when we change this to original and apply, the system is actually going to pick up a different area of the chart that it's catching the retracement on. We are working on making this more customizable, so you'll be able to kind of pick your own Fibonacci levels instead of the system just picking them for you.
Very cool. And something else that I really watch is volume as well. Do you guys have any sort of heat map?
We have a heat map, and it soon we'll hopefully have kind of a volume heat map as well. So the heat map is still kind of in a very early beta stage. So we're not capturing necessarily volume. What we're kind of capturing is these different areas of kind of price consolidation, if you will. And so this is still one of our earlier features. We're working on making this more robust and really having the ability to make this kind of a heat map for volume by price, where it's kind of highlighting and showing the heat map for where the stronger areas of supply and demand are on the chart.
Very cool. Very neat. Is there anything else that's up and coming for Trendspider that you'd want to let everybody know about?
Really at this point we're working on getting the Watchlist screener out. That will help people really have the ability to have more kind of screening options and kind of making these rules that you watch for on a large scale for a bunch of different stocks. And then we really are working on making this more robust with the heat map, where we'll capture these volume blips on the chart. And so it's really a mix of creating new features, but then also perfecting the ones that we've already created.
Very nice. Now, something else that I'm really big about is sharing on social media, like on StockTwits or Twitter. Do you have that access to?
Yes. So if you go up to the top right corner here, you can share the chart. You can do it through Twitter, StockTwits, or you can just copy the link and you can share it through whatever platform you'd like.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed Jake's explanation of Trendspider, and I'm really excited to see you in Montreal this summer at the Modern Trader Summit, so you guys can explain it in person as well. And guys, remember, you can do a 7-day free trial. The information is down below in the description box. And if you guys have any questions, I know that everyone at Trendspider is really accessible, right?
Correct. If you want to get a hold of us, you can reach out through social media, either by tweeting at us or sending us a direct message, or you can send us an email at hello@trendspider.com, and we will quickly respond that way as well within 24 hours.
Awesome, Jake. I really want to thank you for your time, and looking forward to seeing you soon.
I am looking forward to Montreal. It's been a while since I've been there, and thank you so much for having us on.
Thank you.